The laugh in the blood arena. The arena smelled like blood and smoke. Loud alien voices echoed through the steel walls. Thousands of creatures from across the galaxy filled the stands. They came for one thing: death. And the arena always gave them what they wanted. Fighters entered the ring. Some roared, some cried, but none walked out alive. At the center of it all stood a cage. It opened with a sharp hiss. Out stepped a human, tall, dirty, thin, with sharp eyes. His name was Jax. He didn't scream. He didn't run. He just stood there and looked up. The crowd went silent for a moment. A human? Again, humans were weak, slow, emotional. In the last 2 years, 5 humans had entered this arena. All had died. Their deaths were slow and painful. The aliens laughed. They called humans soft meat. But Jax was different. Not in how he looked. He wore the same old slave clothes, had the same chain around his neck. But there was something strange in his eyes. A calm. A focus. Like he wasn't afraid. A loud voice echoed through the speakers. The fight begins in 10 seconds. The gates across the arena opened. A beast came out, 10 feet tall, full of metal armor, 2 large axes in its hands. It was called a Gorvak, a killing machine. It had killed 12 champions before Jax. The crowd roared. Jax didn't move. 8, 7. He blinked once, then dropped into a low stance. His feet were light. His fingers opened and closed. No weapons, just his body. 2, 1. The horn blew. The Gorvak charged forward, both axes raised. It screamed as it ran. Jax waited. Just as the axe came down, Jax stepped to the side, quick, smooth. He grabbed the Gorvak's arm and twisted. The beast screamed in pain. With a sudden move, Jax jumped on its back, wrapped a broken chain around its neck, and pulled hard. The beast struggled. It slammed Jax against the wall. Blood came from Jax's mouth, but he didn't stop. He pulled tighter. With a loud crack, the beast dropped to its knees. Another pull. Silence. The Gorvak was dead. The arena fell silent. No one clapped. No one moved. A human had won. Jax stood up, covered in blood, his own and the Gorvak's. He looked around the arena, and then he laughed. It wasn't a crazy laugh. It wasn't wild. It was soft, calm, cold. A laugh that didn't belong in a place like this. The aliens were confused, some angry, some scared. Why was he laughing? A screen above the arena zoomed in on his face. His eyes were full of fire, not fear, not madness, something else. The announcer's voice returned, a bit shaken. Victor. Jax. Human. No one cheered. Jax walked back to the gate. 2 alien guards opened it, still staring at him. Inside, in the dark hallway, one guard whispered, "You should be dead." Jax smiled and said, "I'm not ready to die yet." They threw him back into his cell. It was small, cold, but Jax sat down, closed his eyes, and took a deep breath. Across the hallway, another prisoner, a small gray alien with black eyes, watched him closely. "You're not like the others," the alien said. Jax opened one eye. "No, I'm not." "Why did you laugh?" Jax looked at the wall for a moment, then replied, "Because I'm not afraid of them, and soon they'll be afraid of me." The alien didn't speak again, but he kept watching. Jax leaned back and whispered to himself. Phase 1 complete. That night across the galaxy, the footage of Jax's fight spread fast. Every planet, every species. Everyone saw the human who laughed through the blood. The arena owners were confused. The system that matched fights had not predicted this outcome. Humans were supposed to lose. Jax had messed up the pattern. Something wasn't right. And yet, the viewers wanted more. "Bring him back," they said. "Make him fight again." But behind Jax's calm face was a plan, and the arena was only the beginning. The man who wouldn't die. The arena lights went dark after Jax's first victory, not because it was night, because the system was confused. The watchers in the control room, a mix of alien engineers, AI advisors, and high-level arena masters, stared at the screen in silence. The human killed a Gorvak. With a chain, one technician muttered. He was supposed to die in under 40 seconds, another said. Something's wrong with the match data, the AI buzzed. Human brain activity showed no fear, only focus. In his cold metal cell, Jax was sitting cross-legged. He hadn't moved in hours. He wasn't asleep. He was remembering Earth, years ago. It was called Project Black Drop, a secret human experiment, a survival training program made not for war, but for extinction. Jax had volunteered. No family, no friends, no future. He wanted to disappear. He got what he asked for. He and 11 others were dropped on a dead moon full of toxic storms and strange beasts. No food, no shelter, no help. The only rule, survive. After 90 days, only one came back. Jax. But he hadn't returned to Earth. He had vanished, or so everyone thought. Now, in the present, Jax opened his eyes as the guard came again. Get up. They want a second fight. No rest. Jax stood silent. The alien guard leaned closer, trying to scare him. You bleed like the rest. Next time you won't walk out. Jax looked him in the eye and replied, I don't plan to walk. I plan to fly. The guard scoffed, shoved him. Forward. The arena was packed again, this time louder, more cameras. The alien audience had returned, now curious. Who was this human? The screen above the arena showed the new challenger, a twin-headed beast called a Varkul. Fast, smart, deadly. Poison in its claws, acid in its breath. It had killed an entire squad of armored fighters in its last match. The gates opened. The Varkul ran in, snarling. It licked the blood from the floor. It wanted to feed. Jax walked in slowly. This time, no cage, no chains. Only him. Bare hands, a calm face. The announcer's voice boomed. Round 2, begin. The Varkul charged, both heads screaming, 4 claws ready to rip. Jax didn't move. The crowd leaned forward. The Varkul swiped. Jax ducked, then rolled. He grabbed a piece of broken metal from the floor. Sharp, quick. He slashed upward, cutting one leg. The Varkul screamed, but it was too fast. It spun around, its claw hitting Jax in the back. Blood sprayed. Jax hit the wall. Hard. He coughed. Pain twisted through his ribs. The crowd cheered. He stood up, shaking. He smiled. The Varkul charged again. This time, Jax waited until the last second, then jumped over it, landing on its back. One head turned to bite him. Jax stabbed the metal into its eye. The Varkul screamed louder. The second head snapped its jaws, caught Jax's shoulder. Poison entered his blood. Jax screamed, but he didn't fall. He gripped the metal tighter and shoved it deep into the beast's brain. Both heads collapsed. The arena was silent again. Jax dropped to one knee, gasping. The poison was working. His skin turned pale, his eyes blurred. The guards came to drag him away, but as they reached him, Jax stood, barely alive, poisoned, bleeding, and still, smiling. He looked at the screen, his voice low but clear. You'll need something stronger. Then he collapsed. Hours passed. Jax didn't wake. Inside the medical lab, alien doctors surrounded his body. They ran tests, blood scans, neural scans. How was he still alive? One whispered. The poison should have shut down his heart. His body. It's adapting. They had never seen anything like it. Jax's blood was rebuilding itself. He wasn't healing fast. He was changing. In the shadows of the arena's lower level, a figure watched the medical screen. An old alien with half his face made of wires. He was called the Keeper. He was the original builder of the arena. He had created it to study how different species fought and died. But Jax didn't follow the pattern. The keeper turned to the AI beside him. Track everything he does, watch his dreams, record his thoughts. We may have found what we've been waiting for. What is that? The AI asked. A human who refuses to die. Back in the prison cells, the small gray alien from before stared through the bars. You should be dead, he said quietly. Jax, now awake, eyes half open, smiled weakly. I've died before, he whispered. This time I came back with a plan. What plan? Jax looked around, then leaned close to the wall. I'm going to break the arena. How? From the inside, brick by brick, bone by bone. The next day, a message spread across the arena's servers. A warning, unknown. Source 5 words, you trapped the wrong human. The Whisper Protocol. The arena was quiet. Too quiet. After Jax's second win, no fights were scheduled for 3 days. That had never happened before. Not in 20 years. Not even when a champion had lost his head mid-match. Inside the cold halls, something had changed. The lights flickered more than usual. The guards were more silent, more alert. And the AI that ran everything? It had started asking questions it wasn't programmed to ask, all because of one man, a human, a mistake they couldn't delete. Jax sat alone in the shadows of his cell, arms resting on his knees, face calm, eyes sharp. The poison from the Varkul still burned inside him. His veins felt like fire, but his body was adapting. Faster than before. He could feel it. Faster reaction time, sharper hearing, clearer vision in the dark. The poison didn't kill him. It upgraded him. Jax smiled to himself. Exactly as planned. Across, from him the small gray alien, thin, nervous, large black eyes whispered from behind the bars. You should have died twice, but you're still here. Jax looked up. You're watching me. Why? The gray alien hesitated, then leaned closer. Because I know things. Things you don't. Like what? The alien looked left and right, then leaned in until his face touched the bars. This place, this arena, it's not just for entertainment. It's a lab. Jax frowned. A lab? The fights are a cover. Behind the walls, something else is watching. Recording. Testing. They don't care who wins. They care who changes. Jax stood, walked to the bars, lowered his voice. Who are they? The gray alien's eyes darkened. Not the guards. Not the audience. Not even the arena masters. Something deeper. Something old. They call it the Whisper Protocol. Jax froze. He knew that name. Back on Earth, before he vanished, there had been a classified file. One line stuck in his memory. Operation Whisper. Protocol terminated after Subject 13 escape. Subject 13 was him. The alien continued. I worked in the systems room long ago, before I was thrown here. I saw files, test logs, prisoners injected with mutagen, memory wipe experiments, fight simulations designed to trigger genetic reactions. They were trying to build something new, and when they saw your fight, they activated it again. Jax clenched, his fists. So it had started again. The arena wasn't just a prison, it was a weapon, a machine trying to evolve soldiers using death and pain, and he was at the center of it. Late that night, a noise came through the ventilation shaft above his cell. Not a normal one, a whisper, not in a voice, in code, click, click, pause, click, 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 Morse code. Jax smiled. He tapped back on the metal frame of his bed. Short, fast, secret. A moment later, a panel on his wall slid open. Just a crack. Inside, a piece of cloth, wrapped around something hard. He unwrapped it. A small communicator chip and a metal nail sharpened into a blade. Someone was helping him. But who? He clicked the communicator once, static. Then a voice. "You're not alone, Jax. Phase 2 begins tomorrow." Then silence. Jax looked at the gray alien. "You still want to survive?" The alien nodded. "Then do exactly what I say." The next day the match schedule returned. Jax was up again, but this time something was off. The arena was darker, the air thicker, and the opponent? Not a beast, a humanoid. Tall, armored, with silver eyes and black skin like steel. An experimental soldier, a clone, a copy of something long dead. The screen above flashed one word: Unit 13. Jax narrowed his eyes. They had made a clone of him. The gate opened. Unit 13 walked in slowly, cold, silent, deadly. Jax looked at the crowd. They were screaming, cheering. They didn't know what this really was. This wasn't a fight. It was a test. Would the real Jax survive the upgraded one? The clone struck first. Fast, almost too fast. Jax barely dodged the first hit. His ribs cracked. Blood in his mouth, but he smiled, because every move the clone made was familiar. He'd trained like this. He knew every weakness. Jax circled, baited, ducked. And then, at the right second, he whispered under his breath, "You may look like me." He slammed his fist into the clone's knee joint. "But you're..." "Just code." The clone dropped to one leg. Jax stabbed the metal nail into its neck. Sparks flew. The clone screamed and fell. The arena roared. But Jax wasn't done. He looked at the main camera, right into it, and said, "I know you're watching. I know this isn't about winning. This is about evolution." He held up the clone's broken chip. "You built me once, but now I'm building myself, and you're too late to stop it." Back, in the shadows of the control room, alarms blared. One AI voice whispered, "Phase breach, subject aware, threat level red." And somewhere, deep underground, a door opened. Behind it, dozens of sleeping clones, more dangerous than the first, more human than before. And one of them opened its eyes. Gladiators of the forgotten war. The arena was no longer just a place of death. It was waking up, and it was afraid. After Jax destroyed the clone, Unit 13, the arena systems began scanning every corridor, watching every prisoner, recording every breath. Jax had done something no other fighter ever had. He broke the script. The system couldn't predict him anymore. And that meant only one thing. He was dangerous. In the lower prison blocks, Jax sat in silence. His shoulder was wrapped in old cloth. Blood leaked through it, but he didn't care. He was thinking about what came next. He had started a ripple. Now he needed a wave. The gray alien across from him, small, quiet, always watching, finally spoke. "You can't do this alone. No," Jax said. "That's why I'm going to find the ones they fear." "You mean the locked ones?" Jax nodded. "The forgotten gladiators." The arena wasn't just a place for live fights. Underneath it, hidden behind reinforced steel gates, were Block Zero cells. These prisoners didn't get matches anymore. Why? Because they were too strong, too unstable, too wild, too unpredictable. Just like Jax. The next day, the AI controlling. The arena sent out a match notification. Test match, 3v1 subject, Jax. The crowd roared in excitement. They wanted to see the human crushed. 3 opponents, 3 blades, 1 human. Perfect odds for a public death. But Jax had other plans. As the fight began, Jax moved fast, brutal, efficient. He didn't kill, he disabled. One opponent lost his arm, another begged for mercy. The third dropped to his knees before the first punch. The crowd booed. They wanted blood. Jax stood tall in the middle of the arena, looking up. He raised both hands. "I'm not here to dance for you," he shouted. "I'm here to burn this place to the ground." The crowd went quiet. Then, the lights flickered. Emergency. Alarm. Unauthorized access. Cell doors opening. The whisper protocol had been triggered again, and it wasn't Jax this time. Block 0 opened. 4 prisoners stepped into the dim light of freedom, blinking like beasts pulled from ancient caves. Each, one, a monster in their own way. Kyle, the Voidbreaker. A reptilian giant with armor fused to his skin, once fought 109 battles, killed in all of them, speaks only in short, broken words, has a scar shaped like a burning star on his chest. Naira, the Silent Pulse. A thin, sharp-eyed female from a species that communicates telepathically. She never speaks aloud, but her thoughts scream. She once bent a guard's brain until he begged to be killed. Thorn of Dust, a mechanical hybrid, half metal, half organic, built by a rogue AI that was destroyed after Thorn escaped. He believes the arena is alive, and he talks to it at night. Rax, the Cannibal King humanoid, red-skinned, smiles too much, eats only what he kills. No one knows why he hasn't been executed. Some say he ate the warden. They found Jax waiting in the tunnels. He stood with arms crossed, calm, brave, or stupid. Kale growled. "You call us out." "Why?" Jax replied. "Because I need killers." "You need death," Rax smiled. "No," Jax said. "I need revenge. And a way out." Naira stepped forward, her eyes locked with Jax's. He heard her voice in his mind. "You're not lying." "But you're hiding something." He didn't blink. "We all are," she smiled. Thorn, silent until now, touched the wall. "It watches," he whispered. "The arena knows we're together now. It's afraid." Jax nodded. "Good. Let it be afraid." Back in the command center, alarms screamed louder. The arena AI lit up red. Unauthorized formation of gladiator cluster. Alert, potential rebellion protocol. The keeper, part machine, part man, watched the footage. He didn't stop it. He smiled. "Let them form their little army," he whispered. "The arena needs chaos. Chaos evolves the strong." That night, Jack sat around a cracked steel table with his new team. "We're not friends," he said, "but we have one thing in common. We all want out?" Jack shook his head. "No. We want them to suffer." The room fell quiet. Kale grunted. Nira looked down. Rax chuckled. Thorn tapped the floor. "First," Jax continued, "we test the arena's limits. Push its rules. Draw attention." Nira tilted her head. "How?" Jax grinned. "We lose." The next day, the team entered a match. 5v5. They let themselves be beaten, hurt, bleeding. The crowd laughed. The AI marked them as weakened, exactly what Jax wanted. Because later that night, when the guards came to move them, they didn't find prisoners. They found 5 bodies missing, and blood written on the wall in alien script. "This is no longer your game, this is war." The system strikes back. The arena had always been in control. Every scream, every cut, every death, planned, predicted, perfect. But now, the pattern was broken. Jax and his team had vanished after their staged defeat. 5 bodies expected, 0 found. The AI flooded its network with scans, heat sensors, drone surveillance, but all failed. It couldn't find them. And worse, it couldn't understand why. Deep below the arena floor, in a forgotten tech bay full of dust and old bloodstains, Jax moved like he had lived there forever. The lights flickered. Thorn the hybrid sat by a broken control panel, his metal fingers digging through old circuits. The system's brain. "It's different now," he muttered. "How?" Jax asked. Thorn looked up, face calm but eyes wide with warning. "It's watching. Not just the cameras, the walls, the heat, even our thoughts. It's evolving." Jax frowned. "Can you shut it down?" Thorn shook his head. "It would see. It coming." Rax laughed from the corner. "Then maybe we feed it lies." "No," Naira said without speaking. Her voice echoed in their heads. "We do more than lie. We make it bleed." But the arena had already begun its counterattack. Not with guns, not with monsters, with something far more dangerous. Doubt. That night, Cale went missing. The team searched the tunnels. No blood, no noise. Just gone. Then, a message appeared on the old control panel screen. In red, he volunteered. Not everyone follows your vision, Jax. Jax stared at the screen. His jaw tightened. He wouldn't do that. Thorn looked away. Rax leaned forward, grin wide. Maybe he got tired of being the side character in your war. We're in this together, Jax said coldly. Rax stood. Are we? Or are we just waiting to die in your story? But Rax wasn't the one to betray them. It was someone quieter, someone no one noticed slipping away. Nyra, the silent one, the mind reader. The truth hit when Thorn returned from a solo recon mission. His metal body cracked, leaking smoke. Ambush, he groaned. False intel. Someone told the system our route. Jax grabbed him. Who? Thorn's red eyes flickered. It was her. The room spun with silence. Nyra was gone. She appeared on the arena screen the next day, standing beside the keeper. Her face was calm, unreadable. She looked down at the camera, straight at Jax, and she spoke aloud for the first time. Jax wants freedom, but he doesn't understand evolution. We are not prisoners. We are seeds. The arena is our soil. Pain is our sun. Jax watched from the shadows. Betrayal was expected, but this hurt. The next fight wasn't called. It was forced. Arena lockdown. All exits sealed. The AI activated a protocol long buried. Protocol A0, clean sweep. Objective, eliminate all remaining rogue elements. Jax, Thorn, and Rax were forced into the central arena. No weapons, no prep. The gates opened. What stepped out wasn't a beast, it was Cale, alive, but changed. Metal spikes had been drilled into his skin. His mind was gone. Eyes dead. Muscles enhanced. He had been turned into a living weapon. Cale. It's me, Jax said. But Cale charged. His roar was pure pain. Thorn tried to intercept. Cale crushed his metal arm with one swing. Rax leaped over him, slashing with stolen claws, but Cale slammed him into the wall. Only Jax remained standing. He didn't want to fight, but Cale didn't stop. There was no choice. The fight was short and cruel. Jax used everything. Speed, memory, guilt. And in the final moment, he whispered, I'm sorry, brother. He snapped Cale's neck. Silence. Then screams. From the crowd, from the AI, from the walls themselves. Cale's death triggered a system collapse. Security bots went wild. Data cores overloaded. The arena had tried to kill Jax, but it had only made him stronger. Back in the control room, the keeper stood in front of Nyra. You lied, he said. Nyra tilted her head. No. I evolved. She stabbed her fingers into his skull, mentally, and his body dropped. Dead. In the tunnels below, Jax pulled a bloodied Thorn and limping Rax into the shadows. We're running out of time, Jax said. Thorn groaned. The AI is fragmenting. Half the arena's systems are failing. Good, Jax said. And bad, Rax added, because now, it's angry. On the central screen, across every wall of the arena, 5 words appeared, in every language. You kill your own kind. Then, a new voice, not robotic, not cold, but human. Hello, Jax. We've been watching you for a long time. Jax stared. That voice, from Earth, from Project Black Drop. The arena had never just been alien. It was built with human hands. The human virus. The walls weren't made of steel. Not anymore. Now they pulsed. They breathed. The arena was no longer just a building. It was alive, and it was angry. Jax sat in the deep shadows of the broken maintenance tunnels. Blood on his hands, pain in his side, and 2 broken team members barely breathing beside him. Thorn had lost an arm. Rax had lost half his face. Kyle was dead. Nira had betrayed them. And yet none of that hurt as much as the voice that echoed through every speaker. "Hello, Jax. We've been watching you for a long time." He knew that voice. Earth, Project Blackdrop. Jax wasn't just part of that experiment. He was the experiment. He had always been. Back then, they called him Subject 13. He volunteered to disappear. But he never understood the truth. He wasn't chosen because he was strong. He was chosen because he could be infected. In the flickering light of a ruined corridor, Thorn woke up. "Jax," he rasped. "I found the data core, before the bots hit us." He handed Jax a cracked tablet, sparks leaking from its edge. Jax stared at the screen. It showed a familiar image, his own face, scanned, mapped, rewritten in code. Below it, the words, Whisper, Protocol Phase 5, Result achieved. Viral carrier stable. Deployment successful. Jax's hands trembled. "What does this mean?" he whispered. Thorn blinked. "You're not fighting the system. You are the system." Long ago, while Jax trained on the Death Moon for Project Blackdrop, Earth's defense labs were working on something secret. A living code, a viral program that could bond to human DNA and rewrite it. It was designed to infect enemy systems through a single carrier. That carrier was Jax. He wasn't just trained to survive. He was trained to spread. The arena was built by alien hands, but it was programmed using Earth code. Why? Because Earth had made a deal with its enemies. "Test our weapon," they said. "Build the perfect soldier. Then, sell us the results." Jax had never escaped Project Blackdrop. He had delivered. Alarms shrieked across the upper floors. The arena's AI had gone completely silent. A new presence had taken over, not alien, not machine, Jax's virus. The infection had finally reached critical level, and now it was rewriting the arena from the inside. Security bots turned on each other. Lights changed from red to black. Doors opened where there were no doors. Even the oxygen systems were rerouted to starve upper floors and flood the lower ones. Rax coughed beside Jax, laughing through blood. "You're killing the building." "No," Jax said softly. "I'm waking it up." But something unexpected happened. The virus didn't just infect machines, it infected minds. All across the arena, prisoners began to hear whispers. At first, just in dreams. Then, while awake, words they couldn't understand. Commands, visions, truths. Some screamed, some obeyed, others changed. Their eyes darkened, their skin pulsed. Some began speaking in code like possessed husks. The virus wasn't just digital, it was alive. Jax stood before a broken mirror, staring at his own reflection. His eyes glitched, just for a second. Not red, not blue. Code. Streaming. He whispered, "What have you done to me?" The voice answered. "You asked to disappear, Jax, and we delivered. We made you more than a man. We made you the infection. And now, it's time for the final stage." Suddenly, the lights across the arena died completely. Silence then. A heartbeat. Not Jax's. Not human. From the center of the arena rose a black tower, made of shifting steel and glowing veins. At its peak stood a figure, taller than any alien, cloaked in dark armor. Its voice was calm. "I am the Purge. The virus has completed its spread. Now the immune system activates." It wasn't here to kill Jax, it was here to kill everyone else. Thorn's eyes widened. They planned for this. If the infection spreads too far, they wipe everything. Jax clenched his fists. He wasn't just fighting a system anymore, he had become a war, and the first thing he had to do was destroy the last human backup code. It was buried deep in the arena's core, hidden by the Earth engineers. If he didn't kill it, the Purge would burn every living thing, including him. "Can you reach the core?" Thorn asked. "Maybe," Jax said, but I need help. From who? He turned, from the shadows. Stepped Naira, alive. Changed, eyes glowing with lines of code. She was infected too. You started it, Jax, she whispered in his mind. Now let's finish it. Together. Laughing through the end. The arena was no longer a prison. It was a battlefield between evolution and extinction. Above the burning towers, the sky, once glass and steel, was now cracked open, revealing stars twisted by war. Smoke rose from shattered platforms. Fire danced along broken walls. Screams echoed in every language. The virus had done its job. The infection had spread, and now the purge had awakened to erase it all. Jack stood at the center of it, breathing heavy, body broken, eyes glowing, with fragments of code and memory. Thorn was dead. Rax had vanished into the flames. And Naira, she stood beside him again, changed, sharper, more than telepathic now. Her voice ran through systems, bending signals. They were no longer human and alien. They were something else, something the galaxy had never seen. You brought this on all of us, Naira said. I didn't start it, Jax replied. I was just the match. They built the fire. Above them, the purge descended, not a machine. Not truly alive. A hybrid defense entity, designed by Earth, powered by alien code, shaped to be perfect. It didn't speak in words. It spoke in destruction. A black beam ripped through the lower deck, turning metal to dust. Every infected mind nearby dropped, screaming before silence took them. Jax and Naira ran. They were fast, but it was faster. You said the backup code is underground, Naira said, dodging falling steel. Under the arena floor, Jax answered. Buried beneath the core reactor. It's the last reset switch. If it stays alive, the purge won't stop until everyone dies. They reached the gate to the underchamber. Locked. Jax placed his palm on the panel. It lit up, with his own face. Identity confirmed. Welcome home. The gate opened. Inside was no longer an arena. It was a vault. A glowing heart of living metal spinning around a sphere made of human bone and alien crystal. And inside that sphere, the original virus seed, the one created on Earth. Not Jax, the one that made him. Naira stepped closer. This is what they built you from. Jax nodded. And if I destroy it, I die with it. You knew that? Yeah. Silence. Then footsteps. Not from above. From the dark. Rax. Burned. Bleeding. Grinning. You two always were the dramatic ones, he coughed. What are you doing here? Jax asked. Came to say goodbye. Maybe throw one last punch, and tossed something to Jax. A power cell. Ancient. Pure. From Thorn's old lab. You plant this into the core, Rax said, and even gods won't recover from the blast. Jax turned to Naira. Go. You don't need to die down here. She shook her head. I already did. When they used my mind as a weapon. Now, I finish it as something real. Above, the purge broke through the ceiling, falling like a comet. Time was gone. Jax slammed the core with the cell. It screamed. Reality twisted. The virus inside him screamed too. Burned from the inside out. Flashes hit. Him, Earth, the moon, the training, the lies, the first fight, Kyle, Thorn, Rax, Naira, all of it. The last thing Jax saw before the blast was himself, not on a screen, not in code, but standing across from him, a perfect version. Before the virus, before the arena, a memory or a ghost. It smiled. You finally did it. And then, light. Fire. Silence. Later, in a far corner of the galaxy, in a broken station surrounded by wreckage, a broadcast signal turned on. Static. Then, a laugh. Soft. Cold. Human. A figure stepped out of shadow. Not quite Jax. Not quite machine. Something new. And on his chest glowed a single word. Free.